Hey guys, in today's video I'll be once again talking about the snowstorm for the northeast of New England that looks to impact us around midweek or on Wednesday into Thursday. And it does seem like it is getting much more likely that this system does occur and it does impact a lot of us here in the northeast of New England, and particularly for us in northeast New England, particularly along the coastline, especially along the megalopolis between Washington, D.C. and Boston. Now, last night, there was, in North America, they sampled the cold air that was going to be in place here in the Northeast to help this storm with its precipitation and have that snow for us. And that's why likely you were waking up this morning and you were looking at the models, particularly the GFS European and CMC models, and you saw that they were in a bit more disagreement than you saw over the past few days when I was showing you guys my previous videos. Um, that was likely expected, and I will tell you right now, the GFS is definitely the weakest as of right now with this storm. But still, it looks like it will. It still looks like it will happen. Thing is, though, we're still a few days from it likely starting, so still gotta wait till like tomorrow, Tuesday particularly. Tuesday is like the day before it starts. That'll be a really key day to see what the models will be showing by then. But does the models still show the system happening? That's nothing to worry about. We'll just have to see what they do moving forward with showing where the system will be tracking, especially where the low pressure center will be tracking as opposed to where the coastline is. So we're first going to look at the GFS model. You can see there's a storm coming up from the south central U.S. moving up through the southeast and up the east coast. You can see there's the snow starting to break out over very western and northern portions of Virginia, the mountainous regions, particularly of West Virginia, northern Maryland, and particularly southern and south central Pennsylvania. And then as we move forward in time, you can see the snow becomes even more widespread, starts getting into northern New Jersey. Philadelphia even starts to get in on the snow. The GFS model now has Washington, D.C. fully in rain to start off with this storm, which is interesting. That's a bit of a difference than before, so you should probably take note of that a bit. And then snow also looks to start for that New York City, Long Island tri-state area, even getting into southern Connecticut. You can see the low pressure center there is quite strong, 993 millibar low pressure center, with heavy snowfall, pretty heavy snowfall there for very southeastern Pennsylvania into much of New Jersey, and even extending into the New York City, Long Island, and southern Connecticut area. But you can see the storm starts to really strengthen, but then also pull away a lot quicker, where the snowfall will remain more light to moderate there for much more of Connecticut and Rhode Island. And Massachusetts, and mainland Massachusetts most likely will also be seeing light to moderate snowfall. Heavier snowfall may be there for Nantucket, but then you can see it will start to really move away as we get towards later in the evening Thursday. So let's look at the snowfall totals now that the GFS model is showing. You can see that the GFS model still shows that 1 foot plus area just to the west of D.C., extending from northern Virginia up through northwestern Maryland, very southeastern Pennsylvania, where they show potentially up towards that 20-inch mark. Just to the west of Philadelphia there. Philadelphia is within more of it's closer towards like that 8 to 12 inch region around there. Very close to that. It's very close to that foot plus area, but it's just outside of it. Northern New Jersey, particularly, could see quite heavy snowfall of a foot plus potentially in some regions. New York City, Long Island could see up towards that foot mark, up to that 1 foot mark. But then you can see the big differences being shown from the GFS is for particularly the Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. They really backed off, showing the most along the coast, but still only around like 5 inches or so, only around that 5 to 7 inch mark or so. Rhode Island showing that more like 6 to 8 inch mark around that snowfall totals as of right now, and then Massachusetts, Boston barely getting like anything, maybe only an inch or two. But then there's a southeastern Massachusetts where it could see only up to 6 to 8 inches of snowfall. So that's very interesting. How much the GFS has backed off this morning. Quite interesting. We should kind of take that into consideration as we move forward, getting even closer to the event itself. Now, let me show you what the CMC model is showing, and I'll tell you right off the bat that the CMC model is a lot more promising with snowfall totals for especially southern New England. So yeah, let's start off and show you the CMC model now. You can see there's that Monday system, not really going to be much of a threat of snowfall to anywhere really, so you disregard that. Here's the big system. There's that Wednesday, Thursday system. You can see again, it comes up from the south and everything. It shows the system much farther to the east than the GFS model, showing DC and Baltimore in that heavier snowfall than in the rain or along that mixing line. And then you can see as it moves up north, farther north, you can see that low pressure center is weaker at like 1,001 millibars, but shows that very heavy snowfall amounts there in southeastern Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia there even. Much of New Jersey is in that moderate to heavy snowfall. Connecticut, New York City, Long Island's getting into that moderate snowfall. And even as we move forward, it even shows still New York City, Long Island, Connecticut, all of Connecticut, Rhode Island, all of Massachusetts, including Boston, the Cape, and really all of Massachusetts in that heavier snowfall. And the system starts to strengthen as it starts to curve more out to sea towards the north and east. And then it starts to pull away with lighter snowfall as we get towards around noontime on Thursday. So there's the storm. It moves out, and then here is what the CMC model is showing for total snowfall. You can see it shows the GFS kind of as well, around that foot mark for New York City, Long Island, northern New Jersey as well, showing the areas that potentially could see a foot plus. Southeastern Pennsylvania could be seeing up towards that 20-inch mark, just like the GFS was showing. Much more widespread heavier snow, though, which the CMC model is showing than the GFS for Maryland and Delaware, even particularly near DC even. But then you can see as well Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, unlike the GFS, it's showing much heavier snowfall for all of 3 of those states. Coastline of Connecticut looks to see around 10 to 12 inches. Inland areas, maybe closer to that foot mark. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, particularly central and southern Rhode Island could see more closer to that foot mark. Massachusetts, Boston could see right around that foot mark. Southeastern Massachusetts, though, could see that 12-inch plus amounts potentially. So that's very interesting. So the CMC model showing much heavier amounts of snowfall for certain regions, but there are some aspects of the CMC model currently with their snowfall forecast as of right now for the snowstorm that is somewhat similar to what the GFS model is showing. But it's very interesting, so we'll have to really keep that into account. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Let's show you the European model now. And let's zoom in to the northeast U.S. and let's go into the forecast loop. All right, here we go. We move this forward in time, and you can see there's that Monday system, not really much of a threat whatsoever. But then we get closer to that Wednesday time frame. You can see there's that snowstorm moving up. You can see very, very heavy snowfall occurring there for central and southern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, New York City, Connecticut, Rhode Island, starting to get in on that lighter to moderate snowfall. The low pressure center is starting to get a lot stronger there, but you can see Baltimore and Washington, D.C., according to the European model, is in that rain. Very interesting to take note of there. Now, we move this forward in time, and you can see on that back end, as the system starts pulling away from the DC-Baltimore area, they get into that lighter snowfall. Baltimore gets more into that heavier snowfall, while DC gets like some maybe light snow showers to end things, according to the European model. But you can see like very heavy snowfall there for central Pennsylvania, much heavier snowfall there for southern New York State. Connecticut looks to get pounded along, especially on the coast there, with heavy snowfall. Rhode Island, Massachusetts starting to get more on into that moderate to heavy snowfall. See, as this storm starts to pull to the north and east. New York City, particularly all of New Jersey, Pennsylvania is more in that lighter to moderate snowfall. Particularly southern New Jersey is more in that lighter to moderate snowfall. It's really where you get towards northern New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, Connecticut. You get still in that moderate to heavy snowfall. Rhode Island, Massachusetts is also in that moderate to heavy snowfall. Move this forward another frame, and you can see the storm starts to pull away and still leave some lighter snow showers as it is coming to an end there around the early afternoon hours of Thursday, and then it's fully gone by the later afternoon and early evening hours of Thursday. So let's show you now what the European model is thinking in terms of total snowfall. You can see very heavy snowfall, particularly for kind of a lot of the same regions the GFS was showing, like more inland and northern Virginia, much more western Maryland and more of the mountainous regions of West Virginia, and then into a lot of central and eastern Pennsylvania getting a lot of that heaviest snowfall. And then Philadelphia, Baltimore, and D.C. are like right on that mixing line. So again, that's going to be a really key thing we're going to have to really continue to watch as we get closer to the storm actually occurring, is the potential that D.C. through Philadelphia could be seeing problems with the mixing line, with the potential of mixing and not being straight snow all throughout. But then as you get towards northern New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, it looks a lot more like they'll be fully in the snowfall, which will mean that it looks like northern New Jersey, according to the European model right now, could see more towards that 1.5 feet of snowfall, around 18 inches. Even that very northern western New Jersey could see potentially 2 feet plus, according to the European model. Very interesting. Long Island looks to see a general, especially a majority of Long Island looks to see a general foot plus, heading towards that 1.5 foot mark. New York City as well looks to see close to that 1.5 foot mark. Most of Connecticut looks to see a foot plus. So that's very interesting. We could be seeing lots of regions anywhere from like 15 to 21 inches of snowfall there for Connecticut. Very interesting there. Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Rhode Island could see also a 1 to 1.5 feet of snowfall there, according to the European model. Most of Massachusetts could be seeing as well 1 to 1.5 feet of snowfall. Maybe even close to 20 inches in some regions. But yeah, the European model and CMC model are particularly the two models, and I want to emphasize this. For me, I trust the European model the most out of all three of these models. I think the GFS model has started to get a lot less of a good handle on the snowstorm, though, you know, we'll have to see what happens with the GFS model moving forward, see what happens with what it shows for the snowstorm. But as of right now, I'm more entrusting with the European model, and even the CMC model. I have a bit more trust in the CMC model currently than I do with the GFS model. And that's particularly because of the fact that still the CMC and European models are agreeing on the fact that southern New England, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts in particular, could be seeing quite heavy snowfall still, and are still agreeing on the same page with that. They still are in disagreement to a degree with more of like the mid-Atlantic regions, and for the snowfall totals for them. But for the New York City tri-state area and southern New England, the European and CMC models do seem to be agreeing a good bit still. So we'll have to, again, as we move forward through this early week into Monday, Tuesday, especially Monday, and especially Tuesday, in fact, see how all three of the models, particularly the GFS model, starts to continue to show the system, see what changes it makes to the system. So again, I will continue to keep you guys updated on this snowstorm as we move forward into early this week and up to the event. It does look like particularly the highest chance for the snowfall, not even saying the heaviest snowfall, just for snowfall in general, looks to be the highest chance for snowfall, just in general, looks to be for central and eastern Pennsylvania, central and eastern Pennsylvania. More northern Virginia, mountainous regions, West Virginia, western Maryland, into more northern New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, southern New York State, and all of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. That's the general area I'm thinking has the best shot at snowfall. The reason I'm not yet including Washington to Philadelphia is because we're still having that consensus with the models that they could be having that problem with mixing. rather than with New York City and Boston, because New York City and Boston, they continue to show the likelihood of both those cities still being fully in that snowfall throughout. So I'll keep you guys updated, though, as we move forward into tomorrow and Tuesday on what I'm thinking for where the snowfall will likely set up, and how the models are continuing to show the system. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider liking the video, commenting on the video. If you enjoyed this video and you like what you saw in today's video, if you like winter weather related videos, if you like snowfall videos, snowstorm videos in general, just anything related to winter weather, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you are subscribed to my channel already, make sure to keep your notification settings on for my channel, so you guys keep getting daily updates from me and my channel on this snowstorm, because I am sure a lot of you who are watching my channel do live in the Northeast and New England region. So again, consider liking the video, commenting on the video. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you have not, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.